but it's just something that I do. I'm really looking for something that was stolen from me. 10 years ago, they took my son. As I search, there are signs that something is happening, that humanity is about to change. But I won't be distracted. How do you find one small boy in a lawless universe? I'm not sure, but I have to keep trying.
You see, it's like this. I run a good operation. Not the best, and not the worst. But it's a hard business I'm in. Long hours, low cash flow, high risk. Ungrateful employees. But nobody said I had to be in the bounty hunter business. Nobody put a gun to my head. Well, actually, that did happen once. I was at some low-life Martian bar. These drunk terraforming engineers thought I had improperly touched their cute little hydraulics expert. Which, of course, I had. And later that night, it was nothing but improperly touching until the sun rose in that cold pink Martian sky. Oh, no, don't get me started talking about my love life. You won't have the stomach for it, believe me, I barely do. But if I have learned anything in this sorry life, it's that nothing ever is what it first seems. It doesn't matter if it's tracking down and bringing in the scum of the solar system, or trying to mend a broken heart by falling into the arms of the first little cupcake that comes your way. Uncertainty rules everywhere, friend. But the mysteries out there pale in comparison to the mystery that is about to explode inside all of us.
The truth must come out, Eccleston.
Then out it shall come. Genetic manipulation is activated. There's now only one
Cool episode of Divinity Cluster, and this is like the episode that is everything is in here. This is the real episode. It covers everything. Covers the Divinity Cluster. It covers what that is, the genetic stuff, the 5 million years ago, the aliens that were manipulating the DNA, and that somewhere inside the DNA, inside of all of us, is something that's going to open up, you know, the characters in the movie, to a new type of DNA which has telepathy, consciousness, these genes and stuff, which is changing the people, and all these nanotech biologists, all this kind of stuff, injecting the people with the nanoviruses and the divinity clusters inside them, the viruses and everything, little kind of biological mutation to open up, unlock your genes to, like, as humans kind of become almost, that's what Darius says, it makes you like a god, like more powers and stuff like that. So that is that first episode. Macduff is in there, this guy Macduff, and Percy's in there, Dante's everything, and you hear Darius and Lucretia. That is that first main episode. It's called the Divinity Cluster. That's that main first episode. So that has everything. This is like the real episode that covers everything at the end, and it's got Eccleston. So Eccleston is this guy that is like, who is Eccleston? It's a really mysterious guy. Eccleston is like the guy behind this shit or something. Eccleston is like, this is the dude who is like infiltrated himself with the divinity cluster. He's like up on the top of the room, like reach for the stars, baby. Or whatever. He's like flying, and he's like, he just runs from one position to another, and he's like, he has all the superpowers, the divinity cluster. And then Darius says Eccleston is the only thing that matters is Eccleston. You must find him. Nothing else matters. Nothing else is of significance. And then Eccleston is like running the shit or something. It's a sci-fi movie, so you have to watch it. And it's like very mysterious things. They don't tell you exactly what it is. You have to watch the movie, watch the episode. So that's the first episode, the Divinity Cluster. That's the Divinity Cluster. The next is The Man Who Sold the World. The episode called The Man Who Sold the World is a different episode. This is The Man Who Sold the World. This is, they're going on the ship, another mission. It's a bounty hunting ship. It's a bounty hunting ship. This is the Tulip. It's called the Tulip. It's like a flower. The Tulip. That's the Tulip. The bounty hunting ship. Percy. Dante is the father. Percy, Montana. The year is 2275, so the future. Space, and has a lot of outlaws and stuff flying through space and spaceships. So, then this next episode, The Man Who Sold the World. They're flying, I think, to Pluto or Neptune, a very far away planet. And when they get there, the other girl, Lucretia, who is one of the crew members, also is a little mysterious. Like, she has 2 or 3 different agendas for being there on the ship. Now, she is recognizing him. He's the Butcher of Callisto, that guy. And so this is on this episode. They fly to this place, and they're going there to get that bounty hunting suspect, bounty hunting guy. It's a bounty hunting ship. They're going to get there to get that guy. But she recognizes he's not just she knows that he's not just that. There's a lot of depth to this evil guy. That is this evil guy who's running this place on The Man Who Sold the World, running this place on Pluto or whatever, with the iron ore, any kind of ore you want, sell you plutonium ore or whatever you want. That's that episode. And so they land with the ship. They get fired upon. He shows them what do you want, this or that, iridium, whatever. And eventually they apprehend the guy. That's the bad guy. They have a lot of issues. And meanwhile, on the ship, Percy is on the ship. She's being assaulted by this rebel virus, a virus that's on the ship, a little Billy Bob attack virus. That's that episode. That's a really neat episode too. This is an amazing episode. Outstanding episode. It's really amazing. I mean, it's a sci-fi. There's violence, there's shooting, there's all these bounty hunters, all this stuff, but it's a space movie, space sci-fi movie. This is really amazing. Then Lucretia knows about this guy, all the atrocities he's committed and everything, and he's a really wanted for all these atrocities, a really bad guy. And then eventually, because of all the nonsense this guy's into, his own girlfriend shoots herself, and then they end up catching him, apprehending him. Or no, she shoots him or something. You gotta watch that episode. That is The Man Who Sold the World, that episode. And at the end, they barely make it out. Percy and Dante, they barely get the ship and barely are able to flee the planet of Pluto and make it out of there. That's got everything in that episode. I think it's 45 minutes long, but it's designed for television, so you got the commercials. So it's designed to be 1 hour. And you got the commercials, so it's basically 45 minutes long, that episode. This next episode, Frozen, is another Star Hunter episode. Okay, so this is one which is like all white background, like these white corridors. And it's amazing, another amazing Star Hunter episode. There are these white corridors, and there's some medical experiments going on here. And people going into labs and everything like that, all these white corridors and lab suits and everything like that. And we see the father, that's the father, and there's his son. He's yelling out to the son. The son is being experimented on. It's an amazing episode of Star Hunter here. And this woman is telling him, you're not allowed to see your son. You're denied access. And he's walking out of the white corridor. So showing a dystopian future where they take the kids away and you can never see your son, and they're putting probes in his head and everything like this. But then he's able to get in and he fucking attacks the facility. He gets in, sees his son, and it breaks in and sees his son. And so a lot of stuff is going on in some of these episodes. 2, 3, 4 storylines in some cases. So he's got the other guy in here who's this funny guy, guy from that planet who's always like dealing Etienne. Etienne. This episode Frozen has Etienne. He's looking at Etienne. He's a prisoner on the ship. It's Etienne, and and Etienne has a crush on Luke, or Luke has a crush on Etienne. And meanwhile, the guy is taking his son and fleeing with his son. Percy is looking at Billy, the musician artist, is her favorite band. And Luke is rallying the ship. Etienne has escaped. And so that's the episode Frozen. Another full, unbelievable Star Hunter adventure. So it's another episode of Star Hunter. This one is called Cell Game. Cell Game, unbelievable, since they're a bounty hunting ship. Percy is being put from one cell to another, and the friggin' she's captured in this base and stuff, in these different places. They have to kind of try to bust out Percy. And how about Percy? She goes to all these different places, and these other girls. The thing is, it's horrible stuff. But it makes for a good TV show. This is this episode of Star Hunter. Cell Game. A lot of dark corridors, the tulip, the different places. This Caravaggio, everything.
Give me a minute, darling. Give me 1 minute and I will be with you. Last night, this one threw me a loop. She rolls over and asks me, do you ever want to have children? Well, I said, no, flat out. You know what she says? Yeah, me neither. Bam! You're not going to leave me alone. What's that? Oh, no. Thanks, mate. Raiders got this same hunger, same need for immortality as everyone else. So they steal kids. It made me think. Well, not exactly like those freaks, of course, but maybe understand a tiny little bit of what drives them. Immortality, living forever, passing on your genes until the stars flare out. Anyway, that's what I thought about for a nanosecond. Until I realized that what actually matters, as it always has mattered, is the here and the now.
This is how they do it on Jupiter.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, and this is how they do it on Saturn.
That's pretty good, Luke.
And where I come from, because we are so evolved, we shuffle very fast. Do you want to see it again?
Yes, please.
And this is how they do it on Mars.
Oh, God, I hate Mars.
I know you do.
Wow, that was fantastic. Can we play poker now?
Yeah, come on, Luke. I haven't played poker in a while. I'm a little rusty. You may beat me.
You know how I feel about gambling.
So we won't play for credits. We'll play for,
Kitchen duty.
No.
Yes, deal. Dealer's choice, 5-card stud. Ladies and deuces are wild. The ante is 1 day.
Raise it 2 days.
I'll see that and raise 1.
I will raise you 2 weeks.
You're bluffing.
Am I really?
Call it. I've always wanted to say this. Read 'em and weep, pilgrim.
I don't believe it.
I know life can be so unfair.
Well, guys, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 queens. That's good, right?
Do you know the odds on that?
Yeah, I know the exact odds, as a matter of fact. Next round is strip poker.
No!
Greetings from the moon. I hope you're treating our prize catch well. Nice and very attractive, I must say.
Oops, I forgot to feed her.
She is going to bring us a nice little bounty fee. A Raider Babe gunrunner brings top dollar. Wait, you should hear what happened to me today. It'll make your toes curl with envy.
Car? Give me surveillance in the holding cell, please. 10 years ago, they took my son.
She's too young, Dante.
As I search,
know
there are
anything.
signs that something is happening.
Okay, next
That
episode,
humanity is
Black
about to
Light.
change.
This is amazing. This is a really cool episode.
But
of
I won't
Star.
be distracted.
It's called Black Light. Ability Run.
How do you
Black
find
Light.
one small boy in a
The
lawless
episode
universe?
called Black Light.
I'm not
There
sure,
is on the ship,
but I
on the
have to keep
Tulip,
trying.
is a cryogenesis. Somewhere on the ship, a soldier wakes up, and a soldier's waking up, and he was a part of the original crew of the Tulip before the ship was owned by Dante and Rodolfo. So before the ship was owned, it was a military assault ship. And this soldier, who was a part of an operation on Mars called Black Light, he comes back to life from cryogenesis and starts roaming around the ship. And he finds Dante and he says, "What's going on here?" Everything like that. "Oh my God, where's my crew? And what are you doing here?" So, and he puts everybody in this cell, and everybody has to deal with this. The whole episode is about dealing with him, and he wants to fulfill his mission. He wants to fulfill his original mission to Mars and fighting the Raiders on Mars, which the operation was called Black Light. It was like 30 years ago. He was in cryogenesis for 30 years. And Percy likes him. She's like, "I don't know, I just frozen the old guy was here. Like, he's really not that bad." He tries to shoot himself. He realizes, "Oh my God, this is, I'm a man out of my time. I don't belong here." And then he tries to shoot himself and commit suicide. And Dante says, "No, I'm not gonna help you do that. No, give me the gun." And they put him in something, let him recuperate. It's an amazing episode, Black Light, 45 minutes, full episode. And this girl is here, who is a captured raider. She's here. And she starts talking with Colonel Bramwell from Black Light. That's his name, Colonel Bramwell. And she starts talking to him and figuring out, oh, maybe this is what we can do to get the raiders and stuff like that. And then they let her talk to the raiders at some point, but she does a really, really shitty job. She just does not come across like she knows what she's doing. And they're like, "Oh no, you did really fucking bad job." And they put her back in her cell like, "Oh, I don't think so." And then they have to deal with the raiders. And then Colonel Bramwell is around talking to everybody, convincing them that he is fit for duty. He is fit for military duty. He can deal with the raiders. And Dante's like, "No way. I mean, this is just crazy. What the fuck are you doing?" and he says, "No, sir. Yes, Dante Montana, sir. Captain Montana. I can do it." And then he ends up... Oh, here's a scene where Dante is seeing his wife through the LCD display and going into virtual reality, seeing his wife and stuff like that. A lot of futurism, a lot of technology and interaction with computers and everything. There's a great scene with Percy in this episode where she's looking at the stars and stuff, and Dante's talking to her and stuff. And what ends up happening is that Colonel Bramwell just goes ballistic and steals a shuttlecraft and rams the Raider base. He just launches himself into the Raider base, blowing himself up to try to attack the Raiders. And that's the end of this episode. Another amazing episode. Black Light. Star Hunter, the original Star Hunter, not the season 2 or whatever, the other one. This is the original Star Hunter. So it's the first, I don't know what you call it, first season or whatever, because the other one, there's another Star Hunter, which is Star Hunter 2230 or whatever. But this is the original Star Hunter, and it's really amazing. I like the original Star Hunter. The other one, it's got a good musical sequence and stuff, but it's not a good movie. It's not a good film project. It's just like, oh my god, it's like shit compared to the original one. Is great project. Called Siren Song. Next one is another Star Hunter episode, available on the DVD Season 1, the original Star Hunter, not the Star Hunter 2300 or whatever. It's just Star Hunter.
The truth must come out, Eccleston.
Then out it shall come.
What happens here? They're coming upon this luxury ship which has everybody has gone bonkers on this thing. A lot of luxury people kind of like partying and stuff, and they're all like going wild. Okay, and then a military troop ship is looking for these guys. Oh my god, this is the one with this girl over here. There's a very strange girl, and she's doing jumps and flips and stuff, and she has these little little stars all around her. Like she controls these mystical little stars that can kill anybody who looks at them, and it's like really scary shit. And she's going around blowing everything up. It's just unbelievable. All havoc is loose on the ship. The Tulip is getting blown up. All the smoke on the inside, and these military guys know about this girl, and they're going her. She's a freaking. These military guys are going to shoot her. She knows that she has special powers. She's fucking blowing up little. She just touches the military guys and can kill them instantly. Oh my god, this is unbelievable episode. This is just unbelievable. And she goes around little star creatures and stuff. She can touch the things and do all kind of things. It's causing all kind of trouble on the ship. As usual, Percy is fixing the ship. Percy is like the engineer on the ship. She's the most amazing girl. Percy is on there. She's fixing the ship, and everything is breaking down. She's like, uh-oh, I gotta fix this. Uh-oh, I gotta check engineering. Oh shit. It's about to get a lot worse before it gets better. She's got a great sense of humor, great comedy, and everything. She's able to kind of save the day, fix and repair the ship as everything is breaking down. Episode for Star Hunter. It's called Trust. This is one of my favorite episodes, I think. It's called Trust. And let's look at this episode, Trust. The Trust episode is about Percy and Dante, who's her uncle. So Dante is Percy's uncle. And she's sparring and combating with Luke, doing kickboxing with Luke. Percy and Luke are doing kickboxing. Dante is very angry. How could you do this to her? How could you? She's just a girl. She's my niece. And Luke is like a trained kind of paramilitary woman. She's very trained. And then Percy's like, you never trust me to do anything. Like, you gotta respect me more. And Dante's like, no, get back to your room and stuff, you know. And then he says, ha ha ha, little girl, Rodolfo even calls her a little girl. Rodolfo says, ha 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 ha, and little girl. Oh my god, this is this episode, Trust, with this guy Jeremy and his brother, who are highline criminals who have done all kind of stuff, just total bank robbers or whatever, total highline criminals, and they are kept on the holding cell of the ship. And Percy is responsible for looking after them and making sure that nothing bad happens with these high-value prisoners. But because her uncle Dante has so disrespected her, she's like, I'm gonna go flirt with these prisoners and hang out with these guys. They seem like I never get a chance to get off the ship. I never get off the ship. Can I get the ship? I never get to get off the ship. So she never gets to get off the ship. She finally has opportunity, so she's hanging out with this high-value prisoner. It's Jeremy. His name is Jeremy, and then they're on this base, and they're trying to apprehend his brother. Meanwhile, Percy is chatting and having a great time talking to Jeremy McAllister, or whatever, who's this high-value, bad prisoner, who's done all kind of murders all over and everything, and they're trying to capture him and his brother. They got him. They're trying to capture the brother at this point. And they got him on Mars or something. This is a really amazing episode. I mean, they went all out on this episode. Trust. This is a great episode of Star Hunter. It's just called Trust. This is one of the best episodes. It's quite dramatic. It's scary. You get to see everything. Percy and Luke and the ship and the guns. They bust out the guns of the cabinets, and Dante talking to Percy, and they talk about this. You never let me do this and that. Percy's kind of standing up for herself as she wants a boyfriend and stuff. She wants to do cool things. And Dante never lets her do anything like that. She's just trapped on the ship all day long doing engineering work. And she makes friends with this guy, one of the prisoners, Jeremy McAllister or whatever, who's a highline convict, highline criminal. It's like murderer or whatever. It's just... And she gives him the video camera. She gives him a little video camera and takes video of herself and says, you can remember me by seeing me every different way you want to. She takes video of herself and gives it to him. And he's like watching the video of her. Meanwhile, Dante's going down to the planet to apprehend the brother, who's also a part of the operation. Now Dante goes down to the planet, I think it's Mars, with the brother and him, putting them into the maximum security facility. The brother and him into the maximum security facility. But she gave the video camera to Jeremy. He made an image, a replicated image of him, and tricked Dante and Luke into thinking that there's a security guard there, but there was nothing. And then the real brother was right there and kicked them out onto the Martian surface. Now they're choking and their uniform is cut and they're stuck out in the middle of the Martian surface. And the guys took off with the escape pod, with the launch vehicle. They took off and are now returning to the ship. Percy's in the ship all alone. He's begging, Jeremy's begging to open the doors of the ship. There's a problem. Open the doors of the ship. Caravaggio says, don't open the door, Percy. Don't let them in. Are you stupid? But she likes this Jeremy guy. She opens the door, letting him in. Now they're loose on the ship. They fucking subdue Percy, attack her, and she's like, well, I want more trust. But yeah, this is a really great episode. I like this episode. It's great. But they survived, and the bad guys have been imprisoned, captured, imprisoned. And that's the end of the episode. This is a great episode. Trust.
just something that I do. I'm really looking for something that was stolen from me. 10 years ago, they took my son. As I search, there are signs that something is happening, that humanity is about to change. But I won't be distracted. How do you find one small boy in a lawless universe? I'm not sure, but I have to keep trying.